Oh, look, I found some bugs, and I'm gonna tell you about them. Today's bug is floating arrow bug. I'm going to be showing clips from Last of Us 2, so if you don't want spoilers, now's the time to back out. So during Abby's playthrough, we were running through a forest, and I noticed an arrow, and I thought, yeah, I should pick that up. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but it's actually floating on her back right now. It's easier to see when we climb down in here. There it is. It's just floating there. I think it's because it's used to having a backpack. She doesn't have her backpack on. It's just a floating arrow. I wonder if it was a mistake that the arrow was out there in the forest and they didn't think anyone would pick it up, or they forgot it was there. You can see it really well when we crawl through this space. Look, there it is. It's floating on her back. And it pretty much will sit there floating on her back until she gets her backpack. I actually made this episode because I cut the clips too short and I wanted to put it all together. I didn't expect it to last so long with the arrow on her back. So I thought it was just that area that had the arrow in the back, and then you lose your backpack again. And the crazy thing is, I thought it was just because I had picked up an arrow, but oh man. So I don't have an arrow on my back right now. And it's funny, the first time I played, I didn't catch when the arrow showed up, but I died. And when I came back after I continued, now the arrow's there. I didn't even pick an arrow up. The arrow just showed up again. And I had thought it was because there's a scene where you pick up an arrow and use it on this guy, but apparently the arrow for me just showed up after I died. So I thought the reason she had a floating arrow was because you take the arrow out of this guy and you use it as a weapon against him. And I thought that's where floating arrow came from. But when I rewatched my clips, apparently I had it before then. So I wonder if people don't have a floating arrow in this area and it was just me. But there's the floating arrow on my back. And the floating arrow like follows me the rest of this area. I don't lose it until we get back to the aquarium. Pretty much when you get a backpack, it'll stop being a floating arrow. And I think the floating arrow is really funny when you see the clip. You'll see the arrow just sitting there hanging out on her back. Thanks for watching. Maybe you'll watch more. Maybe the video on the left, maybe the video on the right. If you're watching on your phone and you don't see any options in my hand, I've added those videos to the description.